everybody. Rob from Condigo Ed to talk about some common college application challenges and obstacles. So we're going to talk about two. The first is we're going to talk about college balance and when it comes to a student's college list. So when we think about aspiration to action and the difference between college match and college fit, college match is really about making sure students are identified with schools that match their academic capacity and eligibility to go to that school and be admitted to that school. So usually that means GPA and test score. So a lot of families and students ask me, well, how many colleges should my student apply to? And there's no like one size fits all to that. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the number later, but that matters less than the balance of the list. So let me give you three terms that we use to define a school's potential match for a student. So a reach school is a school where the student's GPA and test scores are below their mid 50% for that college's admission rate. There are schools that we would be pumped if a student got into, right? Then there's target schools where the student really matches about in their mid 50% range, their GPA and test score. So those are schools like a coin flip, could go either way. And a solid school is a school we'd be shocked if a student didn't get into that school. We'd be shocked if they didn't, which means their GPA and test scores are typically higher than the mid 50% for that school, okay? So let's say a student applies to 10 schools, right? Let's say 3 are reaches, 3 are targets, and 4 are solids, okay? That list balance is fantastic, provided that the 4 solids are two things. One, they are affordable, and two, that they are a school where the student would actually want to go and thrive and succeed. Okay, those are the two most important things. Does a student like it? But even more important than that, are they affordable? And if those things are true, then that list is perfectly balanced. But if a student has 10 schools on their list and 4 are solids, and those 4 schools may not be affordable or they may not actually want to go there, then I always add more schools to the solids list just so that students have lots of options to choose from, okay? The second biggest obstacle that students face when I work with them is answering a very difficult supplemental question that a lot of colleges ask, and that is, why do you want to go to school here? And oftentimes we know teenagers, they're applying to a college because it's in a nice place, it has great weather, or they didn't charge an application fee. So it can be difficult for a student if they're applying to 10 schools to know 10 specific things about that school when they're writing about it. So I have 3 ways that you can tackle that very difficult supplement. So I'm gonna give you one that I like, one that I really like, and one that I love, okay? So one that I like is, let's say you have 300 words in that supplement. I always tell students, write 150 words about your most important extracurricular activity in high school. Could have been a club, organization, sport you're involved in, whatever. Use 150 words to talk about how much it meant to you, why it was important to you. Then go to the school's website and look up their student organizations. So just simply search the name of the school and student organizations. Oftentimes colleges have all of the clubs and organizations they have on campus on their website. So I always tell students, talk 150 words about what you loved in high school, then find something similar at that school's student organizational page and talk about why you want to continue the good work you did in high school at the college in that specific club and organization. Also, those clubs and organizations typically have Instagram pages, some sort of social media presence where a student can say, I noticed that they did this event last year and I would love to be a part of it. That's a really great way for a college to know this kid's done their homework and actually wants to go to school there. One that I really like is, one time I was in a college fair when I worked on the college admissions side. It was a 4-hour fair in Phoenix, Arizona, and I answered what our average GPA and test score in our top 5 majors were a million times. And then one student came up to me and said, hey, can you tell me more about this specific minor? And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, this minor, can you tell me more about it? I had no idea the minor even existed. And that's because students in colleges focus on majors a lot, and rightfully so, but also a minor is a great way for a college to flex their academic muscle. So they get creative with them. So I always tell students, one that I really like is find a minor on campus and say, hey, I want to go to this school because I found this minor and I found it fascinating for these, and these reasons. Here are a few of the classes that I want to take. That's a great way for a student to show interest in that school. And then one that I love is, I always ask students if they know what they want to major in. So I had a student who wanted to apply to Tulane as a psychology major. So I said, I want you to Google the psychology faculty at Tulane. So she did. She found a professor, and on that professor's page, they showed all the publications that they had done, and they'd done a research project on attention deficit disorder. And this student had attention deficit disorder. So she talked about wanting to be surrounded by the brightest minds in her field and how she wanted to work with this professor and that they did a study on this and it was fascinating for her. And so if she was ever lucky enough to attend Tulane, she would love to go to school there. And then I showed them, hey, here's the professor's email. So email that professor and say, hey, if I come to Tulane, if I'm lucky enough to get there, I would love to work with you one day. So then you have a built-in mentor, right? So 2 major obstacles, school balance list and that supplement. So use those strategies and things will be easier. Good luck.